Let's discuss the reporting functions within Sage Fund Accounting. There are a myriad of standard reports that are available to every user at the start of the system. These include lists, transactions, the classic analysis reports, as well as financial statements. And the power of the system really is driven by the financial statement and the ease of which it can be used and built. Every financial statement begins with what's called the format or the backbone of a report. This is a simple outline where the user decides what they want to report and at up to 3 levels or tiers in the reporting architecture. This is a simple one that includes revenue and then the 4 major categories of expenses. Individual general ledger accounts are attached to the expense levels, and I'll be able to see what is in those in detail if I choose to. So in building out reports, I'm going to get to see exactly as much or as little as I need to see. An example might be in other costs. I might indicate that I really don't need to see any of these in detail, with the exception of possibly the allocated overhead. In making that change to the report, I'm going to see everything else rolled up into other costs and then allocated overhead as a single row. And that may be the level of detail that the user needs to be able to see. In running the report that uses this format, we're going to begin with the revenue and expense by program. This is a relatively simple report, and it's just going to run by each program group code across the columns of the report where we stand in a year-to-date position on these program groups. The system does not require that I use strictly the segments, but I can actually group and create conglomerated departments, because healthcare is made up of several programs, as are social services, food services, and daycare. But I might want to subtotal certain services or change the order of the report. That is easily done through the column totals option. So if I simply decide that I want a subtotal after 101 and 201, I indicate that, and I indicate the subtotal title for that category in the column. The reporting and the running of these reports can be done to screen, to Excel, to PDF, to email in PDF, or they can be scheduled. Let's look at another view of the same type of data, but in this case I'm going to show more detail. This is again a revenue and expense report, but in this case I'm going to page break by the program code, and I'm going to show a lot more comparative data: current period, current year, prior year, and current year change. I'm using the same backbone, so again I get the power of building the same style and format, and the users are going to see just that data that they need to see. But I can have a lot more detail, and in this case I'm actually showing every GL code. So in the building of these reports, I get the consistency but different views of the data. Remember that when you're reporting to your constituents, you need to be consistent with who the reader is. Too many numbers on the page just leads to more confusion and less understanding of what you want them to see in the reports. So with the power of MIP reporting, I build a single format and I write to the power and the needs of the individual reader, which is exactly what financial accounting is supposed to be.